The cold fog descends, and he glides across the snow, searching for the entrance to his shelter. A wooden door reveals a deep black hole, where the last heat of life is preserved. The structure above is built from ancient forest timber, a fortress in the wilderness. Subscribe to the channel and follow the journey of building this survival fortress from start to finish, ensuring survival in this savage wilderness. Summer brought a different challenge: heavy construction. Back soaked in sweat, he tirelessly digs the earth, each shovel load filling the wheelbarrow. The low ground slowly transforms into a deep pit with steep protective walls. The labor continues. Survival work allows no rest. Spreading a tarp, he pitches a temporary tent beside the excavation, bracing for long working nights. As night falls, the lone tent glows faintly against the dark earth wall. Amidst the insect sounds and the distant river murmur, animal tracks etched in the moist sand hint at the life surrounding the camp. He needs water, cautiously scooping it from the riverbank. The next morning, a friend arrives, joining the effort to level the ground, accelerating the construction pace. As night descends, the campfire blazes, driving away the cold and fatigue. The simple meal provides renewed strength. At the break of dawn, they resume leveling and clearing the area. Thick logs from the old forest are sawn, preparing the strong foundation for the deep structure. Non-stop labor, that is the harsh law of survival in the wilderness. The bunker slowly takes shape beneath the earth. Large logs are stacked into sturdy walls, deeply anchored into the ground. A bright green tarp is used as waterproofing to keep the structure dry. Inside, he rests, checking the floor's levelness. This construction is more than a shelter. It is a guarantee against the severe winter ahead. The shelter entrance is reinforced with vertical logs. A temporary barrier is erected, the log bases charred to increase durability and prevent rot, an ancient technique. Human strength lifts and secures each heavy log into the earthen wall. Even a mother moose and her calf pass by, bearing witness to the emerging structure deep in the woods. Sunlight pierces the canopy, casting golden stripes onto the wood interior. Now the focus shifts to detail, framing the door and checking the straightness of the wooden floorboards. The space must be airtight and dry, warding off ground moisture. Each plank is meticulously secured and checked with a level. This sanctuary must be flawless to endure nature. Above, the log roof beams are covered with the green tarp for rain protection. Below, the main flooring begins. Planks are tightly joined, measured, and cut with a chainsaw to form a clean, cozy surface. Nailing the boards carefully, he feels the stability of the emerging home. This small inner space is the final comfort needed for the long haul. The sun sets slowly through the thick foliage. In the dark silence, they eat dinner by faint flashlight. The bunker walls retain the heat. Early next morning, mist dissolves on the still river, a signal to hunt. He stands on the bank, casting a net, knowing fresh protein is the key to sustaining the arduous labor. The roof frame is strongly built, each crossbeam secured with wooden pegs. Sunlight illuminates the dust rising from heavy hammer blows. They work diligently, setting posts and shaping timber, transforming rough trees into a durable structure. The roof framework is the crucial layer of protection against all seasonal changes. Stepping onto the log deck, he feels the structure's strength. Using a saw, he trims the excess wood, leveling the surface. A second layer of logs is added, forming a thick protective shield. Each powerful mallet strike secures the pegs. Physical exhaustion is overcome by the feeling of completion. The robust roof structure is now ready. Standing on the wooden platform, he absorbs the noon sun's heat. Drops of sweat fall to the sandy floor. The price of relentless effort. The frame now looks like a sturdy cabin, ready to be buried. They secure the remaining support posts and clear the surrounding soil. A hanging water container serves as a small reward in the deep forest. The roof is covered with a thick layer of dirt over the tarp, ensuring absolute insulation. The task of digging earth is now the task of backfilling, submerging the shelter into the hillside. They scour the overgrown ground, possibly collecting natural material like moss or dry grass to layer the interior. The goal is to merge the structure seamlessly with nature. The final log wall is erected, shielding the shelter entirely. A hot, simple meal is prepared inside, canned fish and potatoes, providing necessary calories. Scrap planks are hammered into a temporary lamp shelf, maximizing every resource. Outside, they roll long logs, preparing future building materials or adding reinforcement to the earth roof above. The innermost bunker wall is braced with horizontal logs, forming a robust interior space. He levels the sandy ground, placing the first wooden floorboards. Working in the shade provides respite from the harsh sun. Every main pillar is now an integral part of the survival wall. The half-sunken shelter is nearing its final completion. The walls are thickened with additional log layers. Outside, a narrow trench is dug, burying a drain pipe deep in the ground to prevent flooding during heavy rains. The intricate task demands precision. A gloved thumb gives a perfect sign while checking the level. The new home is ready to face the weather's elements. More dirt is shoveled onto the roof, ensuring the thick insulation layer maintains a stable temperature. In the cool interior, they use a spirit level to true the floor frame, sawing logs into planks. Sunlight streams in, painting the sand floor gold. Despite the environment's ruggedness, wild yellow flowers bloom defiantly, a reminder of life and the forest's beauty. A green tarp covers the roof logs, the ultimate protection against moisture before final burial. Inside, the floor is built, each plank carefully cut and nailed to create a clean, sinamanin solid surface. The floor is the resting and cooking area. It must be solid. Deep in the woods, the blend of modern tools and natural materials forms a perfect hidden sanctuary. The sun slowly dips below the dense tree line. The finished bunker offers optimal shelter, staying warm even as darkness descends. Dinner is cooked on a small gas stove, the blue flame burning steadily. Early morning, the rising sun reflects on the calm river, signaling time for foraging. He casts the net, seeking fresh protein vital for continuous effort. Under the clear sky, he patiently casts his net in the deep river. Food is the priority. Back at the shelter, the arduous task of burying the roof continues. Wheelbarrows haul sand and dirt to the top, creating the final insulating layer and ultimate camouflage. He taps the logs, ensuring the roof's structural integrity is sound. The final concealment begins. A black, non-woven material is laid down, then covered with a thick layer of fine soil. The structure sinks deep into the earth, becoming nearly an artificial hill among the palm trees. They dig extra trenches, utilizing the excess soil for reinforcement. Every log, every handful of dirt, blends to provide absolute security. The final log wall section is braced, creating structural stability. They excavate the area in front of the bunker, installing a sturdy wooden window frame for natural light. Using a chainsaw, he trims excess timber, ensuring light can penetrate the space. Standing before the clear glass pane, the feeling of freedom and security is complete. The bright sun above the tall pines. They dig a deep approach, adding small wooden steps leading down to the entrance. The bunker transforms into a half-buried cabin. By the riverbank, they prepare large planks for the next phase of construction. The ongoing battle for comfort in the wild never ceases. Interior finishing. They bring in thick logs and lay the subfloor planks, filling the gaps with compound for airtightness. Two figures hammer the ceiling beams, ensuring the overhead space is secure. He kneels, driving nails, savoring the feeling of the smooth, new wood floor. This is the final moment of shared security, preparing for solitude. The floor is complete, bright planks lining the bunker. He runs his hand over the surface, enjoying the feeling of his new sanctuary. Blue light shines through the small window, signaling rain outside. Inside the warm shelter, they share a dinner of hot grilled meat, continuing their journey of survival deep in the woods. Late summer turns to early autumn, a few leaves turning yellow. The window frame is sealed with specialized foam, maximizing heat retention. He brushes a protective oil onto the floorboards, guarding against moisture and time. Finally, a silver insulating sheet is layered onto the roof, adding one last defensive shell before winter arrives. Outside, the entrance is reinforced with thick horizontal logs, then covered with the silver insulation sheet. Every material layer is the final defense. As night falls, work moves inside, installing the steel wood stove and a fire-resistant base beneath it. The stove provides warmth and is the very heart of all activities within the winter bunker. The sun begins to set behind the pine forest, ending the day's labor. He drills into the wooden wall, securing the framed opening for the chimney. The metal pipe is connected to the stove, safely venting hot air through the roof. During the arduous work, they take a brief moment to grill meat over the hot coals. The bunker now has fire and life. The late summer sun pierces the window, illuminating the rustic log interior. Inside the shelter, he ignites a fire using dry wood shavings and bark. The flame dances in the stove, sending out the first heat. Outside, they haul moss and green grass up the slope, fully camouflaging the shelter, creating a new living earth mound. He focuses on installing the ventilation system using plastic piping, carefully sealing every gap in the log walls with foam. This technique prevents humidity, ensuring the bunker remains dry. The moss and dirt layer on the roof is finished, the structure almost invisible in the woods. Completed, he checks the backup power outlet, preparing for long nights of survival. The bunker has completely merged with its environment, revealing only the small window and entrance among the green moss. He builds a wooden staircase leading deep into the earth, securing each step with a drill. The entrance is now a narrow corridor, framed by vertical logs. Descending into this shelter feels like stepping between two worlds. He descends the narrow wooden steps, moving into the damp, cold darkness below. The entrance is fortified by sturdy vertical logs. Light rain patters on the leaves outside, the sound echoing softly in the woods. With all major work done, he installs a small plastic window on the roof, the only light source for the subterranean space. Perseverance has created absolute security. He meticulously applies caulk to seal the roof window frame, preventing maximum heat loss and water leakage. Below, his friend pushes a wheelbarrow full of green moss up the slope, finalizing the camouflage. The bunker is virtually invisible, only the logs and sturdy window remain. They move on to sawing more large planks, preparing materials for the next project. The shelter roof is now covered entirely in green moss, blending perfectly with the hillside. He begins crafting a secure hatch, joining thick planks and reinforcing them with screws, then mounting metal hinges onto the frame. The friend hauls wet soil, adding the final camouflage layer. He uses the chainsaw to cut the hatch perfectly, the final defense for the secret entrance. He fits the wooden hatch over the entrance, then covers it with a tarp, ensuring waterproof sealing. Frost condenses on the window, evidence of the vast temperature difference inside and out. In the darkness, the warm stove light spreads. He sips hot coffee. The final silver insulation layer is installed, bracing for the long, severe winter ahead. He steps out of the bunker, lifting the wooden hatch to let light into the underground space. The ventilation pipe is perfectly disguised by moss and bark. The search for tinder begins. He uses a knife to peel birch bark, excellent material for quick fire starting, regardless of moisture. Collecting the dry bark, he prepares for nights where the stove must burn constantly. He places the birch bark over the vent pipe, camouflaging and waterproofing it. He descends the stairs, smoothing the steps with sandpaper. Oil is brushed onto the wood, providing a protective layer and a warm color to the entryway. Finally, the wooden hatch is closed and covered with a tight tarp, ensuring absolute secrecy. The roof area disappears completely beneath the thick green moss, only the window frame remaining visible. The men use dry pine branches to conceal the closed entrance, perfecting the camouflage. Inside, the shelter is ready. He spreads a warm blanket over the floorboards. They secure the hatch, adding insulation and locking it down with a log for ultimate security. The friend descends the hatch, allowing natural light to fill the space. He meticulously adds moss around the window, camouflaging every detail. He finishes installing the plastic ventilation pipe and a smoke vent disguised with dry bark. A small piece of burning paper confirms good air circulation within. In the distance, both men head deeper into the forest, gathering dry firewood. He finishes polishing the interior log posts, ensuring the living space is clean. A temporary electrical light fixture is installed, providing a weak blue light. The stove is positioned correctly, ready to provide warmth. Looking up at the small window, he clearly sees wet leaves and drizzle on the pane. The wooden floor is sealed. The bunker is fully operational. The interior is completed with simple wooden shelves against the log wall to store. Every small detail is calculated. Strong wooden supports brace the structure. Outside, pale blue smoke rises from the stovepipe, the only sign of life in the deep forest. Finally, he installs a simple, manual kitchen, preparing for daily living routines. Dressed in a warm sweater, he digs trenches beneath the floorboards, installing a hidden drainage system. In the cramped space, he carefully connects plastic pipe segments, ensuring the bunker stays dry. This unseen work is critical for survival, preventing moisture intrusion. Afterwards, he backfills the trench, preparing the area for the floor plan. The drain pipe is buried deep in the earth beneath the bunker floor, ensuring efficiency and secrecy. Once installed, he carefully covers it with soil, leveling the base so the final wooden floor rests on a dry, stable surface. A warm, patterned curtain is hung, creating a sense of privacy. The final step is decoration, making the shelter a real survival room. A small kitchen area is built with wooden cabinets and a manual sink. He pours water from a bucket into the basin. This basic amenity provides essential function and a touch of civilization in the wild. Outside, a deep, mysterious hole is dug. The bunker is hidden beneath the moss, only the window open, eyes observing the secret life within. The sleeping area is separated by new wooden paneling, creating a more private space. Each plank is secured, the flashlight illuminating the cramped working area. He installs the final wooden door, creating a cozy compartment. A roughly carved wooden bear shelf is hung, the shelter's first decoration, symbolizing wilderness strength and fortitude. The sleeping area is secured with a final, sturdy door. He continues hauling thick planks from the forest to the base camp, essential materials for the next project. Among the tall, straight pine trees, he sits down to rest on the stack of newly sawn wood. Smoke wisps around him. He knows he must prepare for cold nights. These planks will become needed furniture. He carves a rough stool from a log, then uses the chainsaw to cut the heavy tabletop plank. Next, a deep, secret hole is dug, and a container is cautiously placed inside, fully camouflaged with dirt. This is the cache for supplies, a key to survival. Inside the bunker, the rough-hewn table is fitted, creating a solid eating and working area. He drills holes into the tabletop, weaving a steel cable through them for hanging items. Everything must be firmly secured. Winter has arrived. The bunker is covered in deep snow, only the black chimney pipe emitting white smoke above the pines. He kneels in the snow, digging toward the hidden supply hole, where only a black cap is visible. The snow is perfect camouflage. The hatch entrance is now hidden under a thick layer of snow, perfectly concealed. Shoveling the snow away from the roof window brings in the only dim light. The biting cold forces him to seek water. He drags a sled carrying containers to the icy riverbank, preparing to drop a net beneath the thin ice. The real struggle has just begun. He pulls the survival sled across the ice, collecting water from a fissure in the frozen river. Hauling the heavy water containers into the bunker, he stacks dry firewood next to the stove, preparing for the record cold days. He carefully oils the raw wooden table, highlighting its natural grain. Each layer of oil is a psychological preparation against the destructive force of time. He quickly installs new wooden wall panels, transforming the space into a warm, isolated room. Under the dim moonlight, he cuts vegetables, preparing a hot meal on the iron stove. The aroma spreads, pushing back the cold outside. The structure is complete, a solid refuge ready for winter. Subscribe to follow the full detailed construction journey and the next survival challenges he faces.